Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm here to have a lovely chat with you, little G and I. He's right there, about to go in the beaver pond for a little drink. He does prefer the shallow, though he's not a big fan of the deep. Not aware of his genetics, I think, maybe. Anyway, okay, so I'm here to talk with you today in the deep woods about, well, actually almost deep woods, right? Actually at the beginning of the trail at this minute. But flipping the script with gratitude. Flipping the script with gratitude. So I'm not talking about, like being a Pollyanna. I don't think anybody likes those people, really. They're kind of annoying. And I know that Loretta LaRoche, one of my favorite comedians, she's talked about this in her work that she does with all things related to stress and optimism and pessimism and things like that. She talks about the Pollyanna as being that person that just kind of swoops in like the great white hope and, says something to the, such as, oh, you lost your arm? Well, you do have another one, don't you? I mean, really? No one likes people like that. So that is not my shtick at all. And that said, I'll tell you why. My inspiration for this, usually I'll name one of my great thinkers that I, follow, like Wayne Dyer and Oprah and Aaron Dodd, Abraham, blah, 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 lots of people. And then there's all the inspiring things I read, of course. But today, my inspiration came from a bout with food poisoning, which I'm just getting over at this minute on the tail end. It's a little sore. It was like having ninja samurais dance around in my abdomen. So anyway, really, and I'm not being that Pollyanna, because I'm not going to say it was pleasant, because it's if anybody who's experienced food poisoning knows it's pretty violent. And that said, I still came up here. It was yesterday and the day before. Didn't do the usual lengthy walk that we usually do because it was just kind of too much. But I came out here to the woods because this is my place of serenity and peace, and also definitely a place to rejuvenate and contemplate, divine health and being grateful for divine health. And so even in that, not being a Pollyanna, because I will admit it was not comfortable. And actually, I had to give I was already scheduled for a talk on the Fast Mind Club, actually, at Champlain. And the person who was kind of organized the whole thing is lovely, just a wonderful person. And the week prior, I was supposed to have the talk, and it was rescheduled, and it was all kind of my mess up. And so because it was my mess up especially, I just didn't feel like I could, change it. And I didn't want to leave her hanging. And it took everything I had in me to prop myself up to do that talk. But that said, I was so grateful. So here's my gratitude thing. I was grateful, and I did a lot of good vibing and praying before it. Just, like universe, flow through me, be my words. And I watched the video afterwards. I couldn't even believe that I didn't present on the outside how I felt on the inside. It's absolutely amazing when we put that energy, and that ask out there, that it's answered. It's just wild, because I look at that video, it doesn't even match at all how I felt on the inside. It's the alignment. And I was just, when I put that out there, it all came together. So that's one thing I'm very grateful for. And then the other thing is, when I was up here, especially today's Friday, actually it was Wednesday, that was the big brunt of it. And even kind of just walking very slowly up on this exact trail. Again, I'm being authentic that I was uncomfortable. I'm not saying it was in any way a walk in the park or fun. It was a walk in the woods, though much slower. And I still couldn't help but think, man, am I grateful for my overall health. Food poisoning is temporary. Violent, little samurais in your abdomen, but very temporary. And, thank God it's, not something huge and big and chronic. I don't even want to say the words to put it out there. And honestly, I couldn't help thinking this way. And when I come out here, I often kind of throw my arms up just with gratitude, and I do a thank you rampage, a gratitude rampage. And even walking very slowly, and breathing deeply, I really truly felt, very genuinely, I felt the need to flip the script on it, because so many people have stuff, they had that kind of discomfort, only they don't, you know, it's not going away for them anytime soon, or at least not with all kinds of, you know, heavy medication and things. And I remember I was way back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, and I was an undergrad at St. Mike's. I had a job as I don't even know what the title was. Giovanni, what are you doing? I hope he's not chasing something. He's not chasing anything. Looks like he's digging. Anyway, I had a job as like a gopher. I just, you know, I was probably 19 years old or whatever, and it was at the UVM hospital, University of Vermont Hospital, because back then I wanted to be an MD. And so I was just kind of getting experience and, you know, being in the atmosphere and things like that. It's actually the first time I saw a cadaver in my life, which was kind of a lot when I think back. But it was, you know, that's reality, right? So part of it, I had to run stuff around all over. And I will never forget in my life, ever, when I was, and because I wasn't thinking of anything, I was just like, okay, bring this up there, bring juice here, and I had to collect a bunch of things. I didn't want to know what's in those vials, bring them other places. And I was just kind of moving carts around mostly. And they told me to go up to floor 4 or 5 or whatever it was. And I didn't even realize, you know, I pulled in there, and it was a pediatric oncology floor. And let me tell you, there's no quicker way to find your gratitude than taking a stroll down a floor with little kids hooked up to chemo. And I remember I had to wait for somebody to come collect whatever it is I was asked to bring up there. There was this little redheaded boy, maybe about, I don't know, 8 years old, 8 or 9, and he was in the chair with the IV, and his head was tipped back. He had sweat droplets on his forehead, just absolutely adorable. And his feet didn't even touch the floor. And I just thought, oh my God, you know, just oh my God. And just, so that, now I was probably 19 years old, and I'm 57 at this minute, and I still remember him clearly, you know. And when I talk about flipping the script with gratitude, we can do that and choose to do that. I'm not trying to be preachy, and I'm not trying to be a Pollyanna. I'm being as real gets. And when it comes to our health, it's super important, because I think, and, you know, until we, you know, kind of experience body betrayal, as one of my students, I had a student thank God have a student at Champlain who went through quite a challenge with brain cancer, you know, and you know, you really, you know, get all your strategies together and really realize, you know, quickly that your first wealth is health. And he's doing amazing, actually. Just an incredible young man. He went through that. But man, you can flip the script with gratitude pretty quickly when you're kind of confronted with something huge. And so my whole thing out here in the woods was that thank goodness it was just food poisoning. That's it. Big huge thank yous. That's it. So, okay, it's Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful woods in northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.